Hello, 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 everybody. How are you? How are you? I am Kenneth Overton, your host of Black Opera Live, which is the show that is sponsored by Black Opera Productions LLC, the production company that is in production right now for the documentary Black Opera, which we are hard at work on, and we're so excited to be able to bring to you. First, I wanted to say thank you for joining me week after week after week after week. It's been so great to have these interviews and to speak to so many incredible artists, so many incredible Black artists across the entire classical music genre, from singers to conductors and composers and all the rest of it. Is so great. And my guest tonight, wow, 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 Michelle Bradley. I am so excited to have her here. Her voice is stunning and she's so kind and so sweet. And her career is on a meteoric rise. And I'm so glad that she carved out some time to be with us tonight. I wanted to just alert everybody that, because things are opening back up, thank God, I'm getting to perform again live in front of people and not in front of a microphone or my computer screen. I'm so excited. So I'll be making my New Orleans opera debut in the title role of Porgy, a role that I have not sung in almost 5 years. But I'm so glad that the first opera that I get to do coming out of this pandemic is a role that I love so much, and I can't wait to see what my voice is going to do after it's been away from it for so long. But I'm excited to join some incredible colleagues in that production. Chauncey Packer and Kirsten Piper Brown and Donovan Singletary and Angela Brown are all going to be with me as well. So that'll be at the end of April, the beginning of May. So very excited. And not to darken things, but I cannot do the show without acknowledging the life of the young man that was taken in Minnesota today at the hands of police again. And the lieutenant whose life was almost taken away from us in Virginia. When will it stop? When will it stop? And I had a tough day. And then as the day was going on, then I heard about the shooting at the school in Tennessee. It's like, when is it going to end? When is it going to end? And so I stopped and I prayed and I focused on what I had to do. And I knew that I had some sunshine at the end of my day interviewing my guest tonight. So please pray for the family of Dante and put the guns away. And let's fix this. Let's fix it. So let me tell you about my guest today. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have her. This critic says, with her gorgeous voice, rich, rounded, and violet colored, she sang Verdi's D'amore sulle rose, and it was tremendous. Beyond the sheer beauty of her voice and her technical command, Bradley had clearly thought deeply about the music. The shape of her phrases distilled not only the character, but the drama of the opera down to a musical essence. And that was by George Grella from the New York Classical Review. Michelle Bradley, a 2018 graduate of the Lindemann Young Artist Development Program, is beginning to garner great acclaim as one of today's most promising Verdi sopranos. For the remainder of 2020-2021, Ms. Bradley will make debuts with the Houston Grand Opera in its production of Breaking the Waves by Missy Mazzoli and a production of Stuart Wallace's Harvey Milk with Opera Theater of St. Louis. She was also presented in Recital this past January with pianist Brian Ziegler at the Philadelphia Chamber Music Society. Last season, Miss Bradley made debuts with the Vienna State Opera as Leonora in Il Trovatore, a role debut, the San Francisco Opera's virtual performance of Hernani as Elvira, another role debut, and the San Diego Opera as the title role of Aida, and will return to the Metropolitan Opera for their New Year's Eve gala as Liu in Act 2 of Turandot. She also appeared in solo recital at the Kennedy Center and performed Samuel Barber's Knoxville Summer of 1915 with the New World Symphony. Future projects include debuts with the Lyric Opera of Chicago, the Royal Opera House at Covent Garden, and returns to the Metropolitan Opera, all in leading roles. And in the 2018-2019 season, this gorgeous soprano made a string of notable debuts with Opera Frankfurt as Leonora in a new production of La Forza del Destino, with Opera Nacional de Lorraine and Teatro Erfurt for the title role in Aida, and at the Deutsche Oper Berlin for the soprano solos in stage performances of the Verdi Requiem. In concert, she debuted in Paris as a soprano soloist in Sir Michael Tippett's A Child of Our Time with the Orchestre de Paris, and she sang the soprano solo in Beethoven's Ninth Symphony with the Philadelphia Orchestra and Maestro Yannick Nézet-Séguin, and sang in recital under the auspices of the George London Foundation in Miami and New York City. Listen, my sister is busy and booked and fabulous, and I cannot wait to share her with you tonight. But as you know, on this show, we have the receipts. I bring proof beyond the readings of the bios that my guests are absolutely incredible. And I'm just going to give y'all a little bit of a taste, just a little bit to whet your appetite before she comes onto the screen, just a little bit. But tighten your wigs, do what you need to do, because this voice is so gorgeous. She's here, y'all. It's Michelle Bradley. Welcome to the show, gorgeous.
Thank you for having me. I need to tell you, when I die, you read my obituary, okay? Because that was the best. I have never had anybody read with such flair and drama, and it was just wonderful. Thank you so much. That's the best introduction I've ever had in my life. I'm going to take you around everywhere with me.
You know it. Well, listen, you are all of that and then some. All of that and then some. There's so many folks here already coming in to say hello. Yes. You know, she's so fabulous.
Oh,
so fabulous. Yes, I second the reviewer as well. That reviewer, you know, sometimes the reviewers, they get it right. And that one, they got it right.
Thank you.
Busy and booked. Yes, indeed, Patrice, and can sing. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Effortless and gorgeous.
One of my friends is on here.
You got a lot of love coming at you, lady. A lot of love coming at you. So listen, I want you to tell the folks, who is Michelle? Where did you grow up? And then tell us how you got interested in classical music.
Well, I grew up in Versailles, Kentucky, born and raised, and still the majority of my family lives there. And that's the home base for me. I started singing very young, as soon as I could talk, maybe before I could talk. My parents were in the choir at church, very involved in the church. My father was a deacon, and they would sing almost all the time when we were at home. They'd sing when they'd get off work, come in the door, start with some hymns, and have me and my brothers join in. And I just started imitating them.
Yeah.
And my love for music just kept growing. I started taught myself piano when I was 8, begging my mom and dad to get me one. And my mom, I remember she'd go shopping at Kmart, and that was back when they had all the electronics. The keyboards would be out, and they'd already be plugged in and on. And she'd let me hang out there while she went shopping, and I'd stay and play on the keyboards, making up songs or imitating the music that I'd heard on the TV the night before.
Yeah.
And so my family and especially my parents, they figured, okay, this girl really is serious about this music thing. She really loves it. So what do? Put me up in front of the church. I ended up not only being in the children's choir, I ended up playing for them because when I was 11, I was too tall. And Pastor Smith said, we can't have her in this choir anymore. She looks like a grown woman. So my dad was like, well, she can play. And so I ended up teaching the children's choir, trying to make this story as short as I can.
No, it's fine. Take your
Um,
time. Like they
I,
say in church, take your time.
I it's just giving my testimony. But so I music just really became my outlet. I was very shy growing up. I had really crooked teeth, and I used to get picked on in school a lot about that, and that really bothered me. So I would not talk when I left the house. I did not talk at all. I mean, if somebody
Really?
said hello, I'd wave and be, hey, how you doing? Hi. Oh, but I would not talk. I wouldn't talk at school. But my parents went around telling everybody that I could sing. I started singing at everybody's wedding and church functions. And from I started singing at the pep rallies at school, at the football games, and I became, a girl. She don't talk, but she can sing. And it also stopped people from picking on me. A lot of my bullies left me alone after that. So
I
um,
bet.
my social studies teacher, Miss Terry Morford, or Mrs. Morford from Woodford County High School, put me in touch with Andrew W. Smith and
Yes.
Carl Smith at Kentucky State University. And I was able to get a voice scholarship to the concert choir, and under the direction of Dr. Carl H. Smith, Carl Henry. And I met my first voice teacher, Andrew W. Smith, and he introduced me to classical music. So I had to try to
Wow.
in there. Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. And we listen, we all know of the greatness of Mr. Smith. My goodness, what a
Yeah.
voice, what a
Oh, yeah.
talent.
And
My
he
goodness.
never would play any recordings of himself. I could hear it when he'd sing with me in my voice lessons, but he would never boast about himself. He would just share his love of music with me, and he would tell me that, this is where my voice belonged. And he really made me believe that. And he passed away 3 years ago,
Hmm.
but he really became a second father to me. And I'm thankful he got to see me make it to the Met. He got to see
Oh,
me make it to the Lindemann program and hear about me
yes.
performing on stage a little bit. So he did get to see his work, his investment in me come to pass. So I'm very grateful for that.
And
Yeah.
he is proud and smiling down on you. My
Hope
goodness.
so. I hope so.
My goodness. That is
Yeah.
incredible. So a lot of people, since you brought up being a part of the Lindemann program, which for those of you out there, it's like the young artist program or training program that is sponsored by the Metropolitan Opera. And as we know, the Metropolitan Opera is the house of houses, especially here in America and across the globe. So, will you explain to the viewers out there and to maybe some of the younger singers what your path was to get into the Lindemann program?
Hmm. I went to Houston after graduate school. I graduated at Bowling Green State University, and I wasn't sure what to do with myself. So I went to Houston, joined the HGO course, Houston Grand Opera. And along there, I met a young lady that introduced me to my voice teacher, Lois Alba.
Okay.
And with Lois, she also believed that I needed to be at the Met. I still was trying to believe that, but she said, you have a great voice, and this is where you need to be, and I'm going to show you how. And she did. So I worked with her 6 years before I went to the Lindemann program,
Hmm.
basically meeting with her every day. And um, from there, she would give me a Yap tracker and have me audition for everything. And
Yes.
one of the things that I ended up auditioning for was the Music Academy of the West when Marilyn Horne was over it. And
Yes.
I ended up being accepted. And in June of 2014, I spent the summer there with Marilyn Horne. And she went on to tell Maestro James Levine about me and the Lindemann program. And after
Wow.
that summer, later that year or early winter of 2015, I auditioned for the Lindemann program in James Levine and ended up being accepted in
Wow.
September 2015. I started in the program.
Amazing. Now, how long did you spend in the program and what types of training did you get while you were there?
I spent 3 years. and it's very intense. I knew when I got there that I was going to have to work, because I also knew that, or I felt that my colleagues were far more advanced than me. I hadn't even been to Europe yet, and I had to work hard with the languages and everything. I always felt, my colleagues went to wonderful conservatories, and I didn't know anything
Mm.
about that growing up. I didn't know that there was schools completely dedicated to music. My conservatory was Pope Memorial Baptist Church. That's where
Amen.
my training
Come on
was,
now. Come on
But
now.
what it entails is just coachings all day long, and then you put on performances. It's almost like a school year. It's almost made up like a school year. It runs from September to May, same as the opera season. We spend our time learning different styles of music and preparing for performances that we present to patrons
Hmm.
and the community. And Maestro Levine and members of the Lindemann program, the directors, our teachers and coaches, they would choose performances for us to do and roles for us to sing. And I did a lot of Verdi programs,
Hmm.
and we also meet with an agent. I met my agent, Michael Bencherchit, through the Lindemann program. We do auditions, lots of auditions for different opera companies and agents. So I mean, I knew it was a big opportunity for me, because everything I needed was presented to me. It was like, pretty much put on a plate and you just make the most of it. I met my agent, I got gigs, I got jobs or professional jobs that I do now, I got while I was in the Lindemann program. It was
Hmm.
really a once in a lifetime chance, at least to me.
That's amazing. And it always takes someone to believe in you, to see you, to acknowledge your gift, and is willing to pour into you. So you've been clearly blessed, from Mr. Smith to Miss Alba, and everybody in between, to Maestro Levine, and then being exposed to all of the resources that the Lindemann program would afford to you. But you had to have the talent to do it. I always say to people, nobody gets there alone. Nobody gets there by themselves. But once you get there, you've got to continue to work, and continue to put in the time. And you clearly have done that.
Yeah, I've had a lot of help though. I think my thing, I needed to learn to believe in myself. I spent years, and it's still ongoing, to work to build my confidence. Some people have the already have the confidence built in, and they just have to make other people believe in them. Mine was the opposite. I've
Yeah.
had people walking alongside me all my life that tell me what I need to hear and what I need to do, you know. But no, I didn't get here alone. Yes, I do know I've been blessed with something special, and I do my best to honor the Lord with that. And I'm very grateful to.
Yeah.
My father taught me, if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. And I've had a lot
Amen.
of jobs. I've cleaned a lot of toilets, and worked in nursing homes, and wiped a lot of butts too. But
Yeah.
it's nice to not have to work that hard anymore. I've put in the time, and I don't have to do that anymore. My father was very prophetic in a lot of the things he would tell me, and I still keep that with me to this day. So I'm very, very, very grateful.
Fantastic. That is fantastic. Hey, Patrick McCoy. I was honored to be at her Kennedy Center debut recital. Listen, you were definitely blessed, because I could not get there, but I know she was incredible. I know it. And you are so supportive of all of us, Patrick. Continue to be. Thank you, sir. Now, Michelle, tell us, like, okay, so you're in this most prestigious program, and you're
Mhm.
learning, and you're surrounded by an amazing staff, and other colleagues, and then I would assume that you're seeing other singers who are in the throes of a big career, and able to watch them and observe them.
Yeah,
What did you gain from that experience, and was it at all intimidating?
I really didn't find it intimidating. and it's
And
not.
and you know why I asked that? It's
Mhm.
the reason why I asked that is because, like you mentioned before, there are so many singers who do come from a big conservatory background, and they are sort of groomed to know what to expect when you get to a place like that. But with you coming from Kentucky and then going a different route and not the conservatory way, you felt like you had to catch up a bit, or how did you adjust?
I knew I had to catch up, but I was prepared to work. I had the confidence when I entered that program. I really did. And it wasn't about being conceited and thinking I was better than anybody else. It was by then, I started Lindemann. I'm gonna tell all my business now, tell my age. And plus I was older than everybody else too. And so I felt like, okay, I really got to work. I got to get on this. So I was 32 when I started the Lindemann program. Or no, I just turned 33. So I knew I was older than a lot of my colleagues. And but by then I was really coming into my own. And I have to say, Lois Alba, my teacher in Houston, really had a lot to do with that. She would help me to practice speaking in front of people, which was really hard for me to do, coming from somebody that would never talk in
Hmm.
public. She would present concerts all around Houston for me, and make me go to parties and talk to people and teach me about hair and makeup and taking pictures. She used to be a model. I mean, she really,
Wow.
really prepped me for things. And so when I got to Lindemann, I wasn't intimidated. Every time I saw someone that was where I wanted to be, I was just prepared to do the work. It wasn't about being intimidated.
Yeah.
I know what I have when it comes to singing. I'm very confident in that. I know that I have something special. I know exactly what my voice can do, and I'm not worried about that. I just put in the work and got to go sit down somewhere and learn that music.
I know that's right. I love to hear that. I love to hear someone who is self-aware um, of the gift that they possess, and aware that not only do they have to put the work in, but that they deserve to be where they are. That is a beautiful thing. A beautiful thing. Um, and speaking, like you said, you know what your voice can do. Let's talk a little bit about this gorgeous voice, okay? Because I first heard you it was a concert that the Met did in Central Park.
Hmm.
And we all came out and supported you and screamed real loud for you and took pictures after and hung out a little bit. And when I heard you, I was like, oh my God, she is the deal. Like she is it. And the work that you've gotten from what I have seen, like Aida and Trovatore and Forza del Destino, did Verdi come to you naturally, or was he sort of advised and poured into you?
I think it was both. When
Hmm.
I came to Houston and started work with Lois Alba,
Hmm.
well, let me go back a little bit. I worked with Myra Merritt while I was at
Oh,
Bowie State University. She's one of my dear teachers, very close friend.
oh, I
She,
love Myra.
well, she's a true classy lady. She's
Yes, indeed.
wonderful. Um, I hope she's watching tonight. I told her about this. I hope she is on here. Um, I worked with her, and I credit her with making me truly believe I'm a soprano. I stopped being afraid of my high notes with her. You know,
Okay.
started in college, I have a low range. Everybody thought I was a contralto or mezzo, thanks to my mom.
Really?
But no, with Miss Merritt, she taught me Mozart, No Mi Dear, Don
Mm,
Giovanni, and she introduced me a little bit to Verdi. I learned D'Amore sulla li Rose with her before I did with anybody else. And by the time I got to Houston, I still wasn't convinced. And I remember going to Lois, I was doing Pamina's arias from the Magic Flute, and she was like, what are you doing?" And she said, "Don't you ever pick that music up again." And she threw this Verdi's Aida in front of me and Norma, and so that was how I was advised to get into Verdi. But when I started singing him, it really fit me. He just, I don't know how to explain it. It just works. It feels comfortable. I'm able to do what he asked me to in the music, and I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. He is so dramatic. And I love that everything that you need to do, even the acting, it's all in the music. He gives
It's
it all to you.
it's
Yeah.
all
And
right
you
there.
have to give it all back to him too. That's another thing. You cannot tiptoe around Verdi. You got to be ready for a workout.
Yes, indeed. Well, while we're on that, let me dig in my bag and pull out a receipt and give the folks a little taste
Okay.
of some Verdi that comes from this golden throat, baby. Hold on to your hats.
Vincitor del padre mio, e non che come per me, per ridonarmi una patria, una reggia e nome illustri, che qui c'è d'arme forza. Vincitor de miei fratelli, ante olio pecca, tinto del sangue amato, trionfar nel caso delle cizie forti, ed è tre caro un re, mio padre, de catene ricco. In sana parole disperdete, al seno non pari la figlia rendete. Stucciate, stucciate, strucciate le sguarde dei nostri oppressori. Sventurata che dissi, scordar possevo questa fermina amore che oppressa e schiava il coraggio suoi, qui impreterò l'amor terrà da vis, e non portanto. Non venterà mai da più crudeli angosce un corre affronta.
Girl, you better go on and sing. You better go on with yourself and sing. And listen, and the folks in the chat are going crazy. Uh, hey Patrice, listen. And Patrice, I think she has some Donna Anna in the schedule here. So that's back when the girls used to really, the girls with the big juicy voices like Michelle, when they would sing the big Mozart roles like Fior di Ligi and Donna Anna, Donna Elvira. That's my favorite Mozart right there. When you had some gravy on the line.
Oh, I wish I could sing Mozart again. I hope I'm hired to do that again. I really enjoyed it. I only did it once. I did Don Giovanni in Chile,
Uh huh.
Santiago, about 3 years ago, and I really enjoyed it. And I would love to do Fior di Ligi. Così fan tutte is my favorite Mozart opera. It's the very first opera I learned. I learned it with Mr. Smith at
Uh
Kentucky
huh.
State University. We did it in English, but I just remember I learned it by myself, and I was so proud of myself. I had a tape to listen to. I was able to, and when I got to college, here's the thing, I didn't even know how to read music. I got to concert choir and they started singing. They pulled out that sheet music. And I was like, oh my God, I've made a mistake. I have made a mistake. I didn't know what to do. And for the first couple of months, I was doing everything by ear in concert choir. I used to stand in between Lori Hicks and Kisma Jordan. And Lori would
Wow.
pinch me, sing wrong notes and wrong rhythms. And so every day after concert choir, I'd go downstairs to the practice rooms and I'd write in the letter names, note by note, write in the counts. I'd taken piano lessons when I was about 15 for about maybe 3 weeks. But I just thought, I already know how to play. Why do I need to know how to read? I'm just going to play at church the rest of my life. That's really what I thought. I wish I knew what I knew now. I would have taken it more seriously then. I really
It,
do.
it's so interesting because I had the same experiences, but I had them heading into high school because I went to a performing
Mhm.
arts high school, but knew nothing about reading music or theory or all of that. And so what I was doing was singing by ear, and
Yep.
imitating the sound back. So I get that. I totally get it.
Yep. But it still helps. Having an ear still helps, though.
Yes,
Uh,
indeed.
it helps to, if I can learn music pretty fast.
Yeah.
I really can. It takes a lot of concentration, but I can learn music pretty fast. I'm grateful for that. I remember quickly. And another thing with the Lindemann program, I think, and I mean this in a good way, a lot was expected of me, and I didn't want to disappoint. And I whatever they had me do, I did it, and I will say I did it well. But that also means they were going to put more on me, so I had to be quick. I had to learn fast, had to, those 3 years, I totally devoted myself to that. I didn't go anywhere much. I didn't leave New York, probably went home for Christmas, but,
Hmm.
it was really all day, every day, learning music or something or running the coachings. And then I go home and chill. And that was it.
Yeah.
I think you have to, I don't know, people have their own ways of working with things, but I'm a person that's one track mind. And sometimes that can be a bad thing. But when it comes to pursuing something and you want to be great at something, it's a good thing, you know.
I agree. I heard, Leontyne Price in an interview, she said once that there were lots of times where she was isolated, lots
Hmm.
of times where she was alone because she knew that she owed herself, her talent, and the work that she put into it, and the audience her absolute best. So it meant saying no to a lot of extraneous things that had nothing to do with the career at hand. So I get that. I totally get it.
I was talking with a close friend of mine a few weeks ago, and she's a person that we just been really, really talk, And I remember something I said, and we always get together and encourage one another. I said, purpose is painful. When you're
Hmm.
called to do something, you can't be like everybody else. You can't do everything that everybody else does. And sometimes that hurts. Sometimes it gets to me. I don't get to do things that other women my age do. I'm not married and having kids. Every other woman in my family is, but I've just been called to something different, and I understand that now. I
Hmm.
used to think I was being left out, but also, yes, I do have to be isolated. I can't be out here getting sick. I can't be out here, sharing cups and glasses with everybody and being all up in people's face. And I'm not that type of person anyway. I do stay to myself uh, anyway. That's just how I am. But yeah, I totally get when Leontine Price said that you have to be that way because you're doing something that no one else does. This Our life as opera singers is not normal.
No.
Very few people understand what it is we truly do. They think we get out on stage and just singing and dancing and
Yep.
hitting high notes. It's not that at all. It's the mental capacity, the mental toughness that it takes to sit down and learn a language that you don't speak, to
Yeah.
sit down and pick out every single detail of a composer who's been dead for years and can't come back and tell you exactly what he really wants. You have to sit down and I don't even know how to. You have it's almost like you having a seance and you got to channel him. You
Yes.
have to be
Yeah.
that focused to say, Verdi, speak to me. What is it that you are trying to get me to say? What is Aida saying here in
Yeah.
this music? It takes that. It's a lot of being alone. It's a lot of sitting by yourself. It's a lot of talking to yourself. I speak my text to myself. I'll be sitting in a restaurant, be like, oh, patria mia, my future. Be sitting over there just going in. I mean, that's just how you gotta be. And I'm at a point now, one thing I do enjoy about being in my 30s is I just don't care anymore. It's a
Mm.
great feeling to not care what somebody else thinks and not be worried how you are presented to other people. I give you what I got. I'll give you the best of what I got, and you can take it or leave it. But I ain't got time to be pleasing you and stuff. You ain't paying my bills. We
Okay.
ain't got too much to talk about.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
as
If
far
you
as
ain't,
I know, I'm the one paying bills, so my opinion is the only one that matters.
I know that's right. I know that's right. And thank you, Latanya, for that. For speaking about mental toughness, it does take a lot of mental toughness. And so, where do you
Mhm.
get that from? Where does Michelle derive that strength from? Because you
Come
can
on
say,
now, you know.
I know. I want you to tell the folks.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you that. Now, I get it from faith and a lot of praying. I pray every time before I step out on stage, and every time I step out on stage, I'm grateful and glad to say that I've given my best. It may not come out the way I wanted it to, and things happen on stage that note don't sound as great. But I've also found, it's times I've come off stage crying because I thought I sounded horrible. And everything I thought I heard, audience didn't hear a thing of it. I'm sitting in the corner fretting and crying and think, oh, my career's over. No one right. It just didn't feel good. And people like, what are you talking about?
Right.
You just that's also takes mental toughness to not pick yourself apart. It's plenty of
Yes.
people in the world ready and willing to do that. I don't need to be doing that. Um, Also, I don't want to lose my train of thought. Yes, I do keep my faith, and yeah, I think I lost my thought.
No,
It,
no.
it's just it takes a lot of faith.
A lot of
It
faith.
takes
Absolutely. And this career has
yes.
lots of temptations that come along with it that can snatch you out of line if you allow it. There's lots of time when we are alone and we have to travel, or we're in a country that nobody speaks the language that we speak in, and then you have to get on stage with colleagues that you don't know, that you've just met, or a conductor, or you putting on a costume for the first time, and you're just trying to find your way. And that is when faith kicks in for me the strongest. That's when I call on it the most. And I find
Mhm.
myself singing through the day. I sing hymns to myself in my hotel room. I sing hymns to myself on the airplane when I have the score open. That's how I exercise the faith and call on that extra strength that I need to get through.
Mhm. Well, like I said, I have a very close friend that she's one that I can call if I really have a rough day, or but also like you, I sing to myself, sing a lot of songs that my parents used to sing to me, think about them and what they told me. That helps me get through. Oh, I know, I wanted to say, speaking of mental toughness, when
Yes.
I was in Frankfurt, Germany, I was performing La Forza del Destino. I had to be in Germany. I was there that first run. I was there for 3 months straight, and I missed all the holidays with my family. And my grandmother passed away,
Hmm.
and she died the night of our dress rehearsal. And I was really upset. And I had a moment in my dressing room, and I just had to get it together. And it wasn't. It was tough. That was a tough run, but I managed to do very well, and I put all of that into the music. That's another part of being mentally tough. There are times when you are headed to a rehearsal or a performance, and you're gonna get bad news, or you're not gonna feel good physically. You're gonna be worn out, or I've had instances where colleagues weren't the nicest to me, and I had
Mhm.
to get along with that. That's the mental toughness that it takes, that you can still remain in character, and you just put it all into the music. Just put it all into the music.
I love that. I love that so much. I feel like I'm getting to know you even more, even better, and it just sort of explains why your career trajectory is so incredible. So how are you post Lindemann program? Now you're out into the real world and the agents and the managers and the planes and the this. How are you choosing what you do, when you do it, and where? Is that a team effort? Is it Michelle saying, I want to do this role, go out and find me this role? Or is it a team saying, we think you should do this and let's go this way?
It's a team effort. Of course, I always consult with my agent. I have a great agent in Michael Benchetrit. He's really a good guy, and I really think he's on my side. And so I talk with him about how it will affect me as a career move, and is it the right thing for my voice. But then I also talk with my teachers. I have a group of teachers. I'm in touch with all my teachers, and I was still in touch with Mr. Smith before I asked him advice. And I asked them, you think this feels good in my voice? And then I'll go and sing a little of it and listen to it. And, but for the most part, everything I've been doing has really fit. It's some things. There was a Tosca that I got uh, right out of the Lindemann program. I didn't feel I was ready for it then.
Hmm.
But now I'm at a place where I know I could do it. But at the time, I've had to turn down some things. But it's a team effort. I talk with, I have my, what I call my inner circle, and
Yes.
who I consult when I'm unsure or deciding what I should do and what career move to make. So, yeah, it's a team thing. I don't think it's a decision you can make completely by yourself.
Yeah, I tell people, having that small team, that nucleus of people who are for you, not just people who are going to tell you how great and wonderful you are, but people who want the best for you and oh, we lost her. Oh my God, internet, 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 please bring her back. My goodness, everybody, this is where we are in this world. We will try to get Michelle back up, and she's back.
I
Here you
I
are.
don't know what that was.
Ta-da! Listen, this is the world that we're in.
Yeah,
Before this pandemic, I didn't even know what StreamYard and Zoom and any of that stuff was. So here we
mm,
are.
not really into these computers either. I'm still from that old school. I remember the phones hanging on the wall with that twirly cord that you got to walk all the way around the
Yeah.
house with, and no texting. I know how to write a letter. You know,
Yes,
I know
indeed.
how to write
And
in cursive.
it's so funny. Patrice Eaton had posted a meme on her Facebook today and said that the kids today will never understand or know what it's like when you're on the phone and your parents pick up the other end and you hear them dialing numbers.
They'll never know what it's like to hear your parents on the phone and you want to be meddling and you pick it up just to listen to see what
Right.
they're talking about. They'll never know what it's like when you had a crush in school and you put the CD player, the boom box up near the phone
Ooh,
to listen to it to tell them how you felt. Let the music speak for you.
girl, don't tell them all our secrets. Don't tell them all.
Yeah, but it's
Oh my.
fine. This has saved us. I mean, I did a lot of virtual concerts when I was in lockdown. I was home in Kentucky with my family, thankfully. And I was singing in the bathroom. I'd get all dolled up and sing in the bathroom, and my nephew would film it for me. And I'd just be like, just whatever you do, don't get the toilet in the shot. you know? But it had the best lighting and the best acoustics. And I'd get all made up and sing in the bathroom, but did what I
Yeah.
had to do and earned a decent living that way despite what was happening. So I'm very grateful. I've been able to continue working, not the way I thought I would, but it's been fairly steady. I'm very
Yeah.
grateful for that. Yeah.
And so do you see a light at the end of the tunnel for you? Are contracts starting to come back and schedule starting to fill back up? Do you see it?
Yes. Yeah, grateful for that. I have some things in the very near future. I'm not at liberty to speak on them now, but some
Right.
really good things that I'm actually working on now in preparation for, and very grateful because I don't know what I'd do with myself if I couldn't sing. I haven't dedicated myself to anything, and I really haven't. So I better
Yeah.
be singing somewhere. Shoot, I'll come sing at your house in the living room if I have to. I got to
I know
meet
that's right.
you somewhere.
I know that's right. And, folks, you need to keep up with Michelle and check her website for those up and coming engagements that she's talking about. And if you are anywhere in the vicinity where she is singing, get yourself a ticket and go, please, because the woman sings. Okay. So, Michelle, who were some of your musical influences? Who did you listen to growing up? Who do you listen to now? Any genre, whatever what's your musical palette?
I was in love with Whitney Houston. I still am. That's who I wanted to be
I
growing up.
knew you were my sister. She
That's
is
who I
my
wanted.
favorite singer ever in life.
I have to be honest. I still haven't heard all of her last album. I can't get through it. I just I I just can't believe that that voice is gone. We will
Listen,
never have that in our lifetime ever again.
ever.
I just can't. I mean, I really, it broke my heart. I tried so hard to sing like her when I was growing up. Like I said, I was very shy, and I was too shy to sing in public. I would sing in the closet. I'd come home from school after not talking all day, and these boys picking on me. I'd come home and sing in the closet, and I'd do it. Me and my younger brother were latchkey kids, so we come home, have to do chores and stuff, all this stuff before mom and daddy got off work. But I'd sing in the closet and then I'd stop when they got home. And my younger brother told on me, Paul, he was like, "Nah, Dad, Tammy sings in the closet every day after school." And I would try to imitate Whitney Houston. My mom used to get these CDs mailed to her and she'd give them to me to listen to. And that's how I got introduced to the Clark sisters. And
Mm,
I try to sing like Karen Clark.
yes,
Um,
God.
Jesus is a love song. And I keep hearing these melodies in my ear. I'd be trying so hard to sound like her. And I didn't know what a run was. I was like, what in the world is she doing? So the Mahalia Jackson,
Oh,
um, a lot of I'm a old school gospel person. I do enjoy Kirk Franklin from time to time and Tamara Mann, I'm sorry, I hope I said it right.
Tamala.
Tamala Mann.
Yeah.
I love her voice, but I'm really about I'm talking about soul stirrers and
Yes,
mighty
God.
clouds of joy. Those and I guess because that's what my parents would listen to, and it helps me to think of them, and I can think of what they went through when they were here and how they pushed through it. So
Yeah.
I guess that's why I tend to listen. James Cleveland, he's my all-time favorite. Um, Opera wise, my go-to is always Maria Callas and Leontine Price.
Listen,
They're
I
always
think we were
my top
separated.
go-tos.
Listen, I think we were separated at birth. I think because I tell people all the time, on the left hand of God is Maria Callas, and on the right hand of God is an empty chair for Leontine Price. That's it. Like that is it for me.
it's it's just Leontine is the beauty. If I was around when she was in her prime, I wouldn't be singing. I really wouldn't. That's just no way. That is the one voice that makes me cry. I
Yes,
can't
God.
do it. Her and Whitney Houston. Leontine, I really listen for the beauty, just to simply sit back and just be swallowed up in it. Maria Callas, I listen to not only, I personally think her voice is beautiful. I know people have
Me
opinions
too.
about it. I enjoy her voice very much.
Me too.
But also, I listen to her because everything that music says she does.
It's in
She
there.
teaches you how to be that diligent, and I want to be that way too. So when I'm learning something, and if there's a recording of her, I will listen to it. I'll listen to it once or twice, and then I got to go and find myself in it. I don't like try to be imitating people, but those are my go-to. And then I enjoy, of course, Kathleen Battle.
Mhm.
Um, I enjoy Sandra Rodvinovsky. I got to sing in Norma with her. And
Uh-huh.
one thing that really inspires me, or how she inspired me, I watched her do the Three Queens at the Met all in one season. She finished one run, and then the next month she'd be back rehearsing for the other one. And just what she does with her voice, the work that she's put into it, she's really one of my favorites. And she's a wonderful personality.
Yeah, that Roberto
Yeah.
Devereaux was outrageous. Outrageous. I think I watched that thing 15 times.
Yeah.
Just so
She
incredible.
Joyce DiDonato, I got to work with her, and I remember it was such a privilege for me to be in those rehearsals with Joyce and Sandra and watch the dedication. And I'm grateful to them for how they made me feel a part.
Yeah,
This know nothing girl from the Lindemann program that made it here because she had a pretty voice and got to prove to herself that she deserves to be there. They made me a part of their scenes, and they didn't have to. Clotilda, I mean, it's not a big role, and
hmm,
I'm grateful to Sir David McVicker. He made that role bigger for me. You
right.
know, he put me in scenes that I normally wouldn't be in. You know, and Sandra and Joyce really made me welcome. I remember we do the scene on the bed with the little boys, putting them to sleep, and Joyce would come over and she'd be touching my hand. You know, just little things. They
Yes.
would make it like I was in the club too. You know, they made me feel special, and I got these two great stars, and they, you know, giving little old me a chance. It really did feel that way, and I'm forever grateful to them for that. And if they ever see this, thank you to both of you.
Thank
Wonderful
you, Joyce and
singers,
Sandra.
wonderful women, really are.
That-
And that's why you touch people the way you do, because your spirit comes out in your singing. So thank you both, Joyce and Sandra. Thank you.
That's amazing. And it's a lesson to everybody out there. Being a good colleague is just as
Mhm.
important, if not more, than how well you sing. Because don't nobody want to deal with people who are not good colleagues. I don't care how great your voice is. I don't care how great
Sometimes
you
you
can.
have to deal with them, though. It's just no other way. And
Exactly.
in that, you still have to remain a good colleague.
Exactly.
I've had that too. And and that's another place where I had to really rely on my faith. You have to do that too. There's you know, this field, as wonderful as it can be quite competitive, and
Hmm.
people can be rude and downright mean at times, and you have to be strong in that too, you know. So
Yeah. Oh, your brother's here, Paul Bradley.
yeah, my that's my youngest brother Paul, and my older brother Tim is on here. My sister-in-law, my cousins, nieces, I mean
That
everybody
is,
on.
it's
My
so
aunt.
it's such a blessing to have a supportive family, especially in a career like this.
Yeah, because I don't get to see them often.
Yeah.
I got to make up a lot of time during quarantine and lockdown. And the best part of, well, one of the best parts was that I got to meet my great niece. My nephew has a daughter, 1 year old, and I got to watch her grow that first year of her life. And
Oh,
that was really wonderful. But yeah, my family, they really do support me. I know they don't always understand everything I'm singing about. They don't understand everything I do, but they're like, oh, okay, well, you gotta go. I mean, I had you know, visited my family. There's times I'd have to be like, okay, I'm sorry, I gotta leave you. I gotta go study this music, or I got something coming up, and you know, I gotta leave them for a little while, or missing holidays and birthdays. They totally get it. They, you know, and that's the type of family I'm from, and it's a big part of why I'm able to do what I can do. I have love, and I got people that really care about me no matter what, and I
that's
mean no
amazing.
matter what, because it's been a
That's
lot of what.
amazing. Now, is Yvonne Smith, is that Andrew Smith's daughter?
Yes, it is. Hey, girl.
Wow. It's so nice to see you, Yvonne. Oh my God, your dad was amazing.
Yes, it
Amazing.
was, Mr. Smith.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So,
Yeah.
another aspect of your career that I am so attracted to is the fact that you are an incredible recitalist.
Mm,
Now,
thank you.
that that is that's a different skill set. What are the differences for you between, taking on a Leonora or an Aida or a full night of song literature and and spirituals and stuff?
You know, I don't think I really see a difference. I mean,
Hmm.
other than the size of the venue,
Hmm.
I still give the same thing. I still give what's in me. Um, I will say in the recitals, I really enjoy them because I love the warmth and the closeness. I mean, I am a reserved person, but when I'm singing, I do want to be close to you. I want to engage with you. I want you to feel what I'm singing,
Yes.
and I really enjoy that. But it's just knowing what I'm singing about and making it personal to me and giving that to you. And I try to make it personal to you, for you too. And whether it's an opera or a recital, I'm giving the same thing. It's just one I'm dressed in costume, the other I have a big gown on.
I love it. I love it. Now I'm about to go in my bag again, y'all, for another receipt because Michelle, when you sent me this clip, I'm telling you, I listened to it over and over and over and over and over again. It is so gorgeous, so beautiful from Samuel Barber's Hermit Songs. Now, I need y'all to just sit back and let it roll over you.
Oh
Just
yeah.
let the beauty of it just take you. So
That's
hold.
my wonderful pianist Valeria Polonina. I think the
Uh-huh.
clip I sent you. Yeah,
Yes.
that was a good time. That was a good time.
Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen.
I will take nothing from my Lord, said she, unless he gives me his son from heaven. In the form of a baby, that I may nurse him. So that Christ came down to her in the form of a baby. And then she said, Infant Jesus at my breast, nothing in this world is true, save, O tiny nursling you. Infant Jesus at my breast, by my heart every night. Your son, not a child, but were begotten Mary, the choice from heaven's light. Infant Jesus at my breast, what king is there but you who could give everlasting good? Wherefore I give my food. Sing to him, maidens, sing your best. There is none that has such right to your song as heaven's King, who every night is infant Jesus at my breast.
Girl, I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I can't. I'm telling you, I listened to that over and over and over and over and over again. It's so stunning.
Thank you very much. It's remember when I was presented with those songs, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this because I never think I'm a little leery when it comes to contemporary music. It's just something that I don't do very often. But
Uh-huh.
these songs really have grown on me very much. I'm actually um, being presented in recital right now as we speak in Houston, Texas, with the Houston Grand Opera, where I will
Uh-huh.
perform these songs again, as well as the Rupert Lieder by Mahler and some
Oh,
spirituals. It's a virtual concert. I will share the link as soon as I get it, and it'll be this Friday at 4 p.m. I'll start uh,
wow.
5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yes, I'm here in Houston preparing for this recital now, and I'm doing the Hermit songs again. But they've really, really grown on me, and they speak of something that I know about, and
Yes.
yeah, and that is one of my favorite pieces right there. That's one of the most beautiful songs ever I've ever sung. I really enjoy it.
And you know what I love? I love somebody who can craft a song, who can take the text off of the printed page and have it speak. And when you took that melody almost seemingly out of nowhere, infanti, it went all the way through my whole spirit. It was so masterfully done.
Thank you. I just
Oh,
that's what it means, is just living with the text. And another wonderful thing about the Lindemann program is that you begin learning a piece months in advance, and even now I'm learning roles and pieces years in advance.
yes.
It means spending time with that text. The text is always first, and making it personal for you and convincing yourself of it. And then when you perform it, it's not even a performance. You're giving truth because you
Yeah.
believe it now. So, but yeah, I love that piece. Can you imagine that, holding Jesus in your arms and having him close to you like that
My
as a
goodness.
child? I mean, who? I mean, how do you even fathom that? You know?
Exactly. And thinking of that sort of forces you to do it beautifully, to do
Yeah,
it with such care.
yeah. Well,
Oh,
it's like being a mother. That's the type of care. In that piece, I really was thinking I'm singing a lullaby. That's what it is. It's
yes.
a lullaby. You know, but yeah, it's
Yes,
a beautiful
Kiana Hall. Text painting, yes, personified, perfected, amazing.
piece.
Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, it is such a joy to hear you sing and to see you and be with you
Yeah,
and having this time together. And I truly hope we get to share the stage together at some point in
yeah,
our future because you're just such a special and incredible artist. Um,
so much.
oh my goodness, when Lori Hicks told me that you would like to be on my show. I was like, really? She would? Oh my God. Send me her email, please, please, please. And when you were like, I would love to do it. I can't wait to do it. It just means a lot. It speaks to who you are as a person, as a human being. It's wonderful to see.
It means a lot to me. I remember a while back you put me on a list of singers that need to be heard, or
Yes.
something. And I really appreciate that. You always think of me, and I'm out here singing, but I do my job and I go home, and I don't know who's listening. I give my best, and I hope I make people feel good, and then I just leave it at that. But tonight this has really blessed me. It's really uplifting, and it's wonderful always to get in my arena, be with my colleagues and talk about our life, because I know
Yeah,
you understand what it is I do. And yes, it's great to talk to other people and they appreciate it, but you know what we're in the throes of, and I really
absolutely.
appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk, and
Yeah, it's amazing. And one day you're going to be an amazing teacher. I'm not
oh,
going
I
to put
don't
that
know.
on you now because you got a whole lot of singing to do. But
Uh,
one day, all this is going to be an incredible teacher, and you have to promise to pass on this knowledge and this love that you have. That it just bounces off of your entire aura, that there's so much joy in what you do. And we need people to sing with joy and then to give joy back, not only to our community and to our audiences, but to singers coming up behind us who look to us as inspiration. We have to lead with joy, and you do that so beautifully.
Thank you. I'm trying, but I do enjoy what I do, and I do especially hope to give back to our community. We do need it, and to um, just to teach young musicians. Yes, Cardi B and Beyonce, they good in their own right, and I jam to them too. But to be in a field where it takes so much discipline, not saying that theirs doesn't, but to learn an instrument and to play it in front of thousands of people, or to learn an opera and trust your voice and get out there and sing and learn these languages. I love the work. You have to love the work.
Yes.
And that's something I want to teach students too. You have to love the work, because that's what you're going to spend most of your time doing. The stage, those performances, they go by fast. You
Sure
work
enough.
months to do 5 performances of an opera, and that's it.
Yep.
And then you on to the next thing. So you really have to enjoy the work, and I do. Even on a
Yeah.
bad day, I'll sit down and open a score, and it takes my mind off of stuff. So yeah, just
Yeah.
enjoy the work.
One of the things that I love most about something Jesse Norman said, she said, you have to fall in love with the process, fall
Mm,
in love with the idea of practice, because that's where you're going to spend most of your time.
yep.
And I take that to heart. I really, really do.
Yeah, she's one of my idols as well. Which how her mouth moves with those words.
Oh,
It's a love story. I mean,
yes.
it really is. It's a beautiful romance. The way she just savors every word. I want to be like that. And speaking of falling in love with the process of practicing and working on your voice, fall in love with yourself too, because you're
Mm.
gonna spend a lot of time by yourself.
Say that again for the folks, because somebody in the back of the church didn't hear you.
Fall While you're falling in love with the process and the work, fall in love with yourself too. You need to love yourself to do this job. And you might not always feel like loving yourself, but you got to do it anyway. Because when you get up on that stage, it's going to be critics, it's going to be haters, it's going to be people ready to pull you apart. And
Mm.
also be mindful that they can't do what you do. The majority of them can't even sing. I'm just saying. But love yourself, because you're going to spend a lot of time with you. Do what you need to do to take care of you. I don't care if people think you're selfish. Like I said, if they ain't paying no bills, their opinion don't matter.
Okay.
But
Okay.
really, seriously, love the process, love yourself. And when you have those two things, it makes for a beautiful performance, because you have so much to give people.
Listen, now if you ever get tired of singing, which I hope you don't, you could be a pastor too, because you done got
Oh Lord, no. We
you
got
done gave us a whole word. You done
no.
gave us a word.
It ain't the call on my life. Don't say that. I'd be leaving. This bus would be going to heaven if I was driving. That's all I got to say. If I make it to heaven, and shoot, I'll probably be pulled over to the side. Hold on a minute. Wait a minute, Brad.
Okay.
Let's talk.
I know that's right. So tell me, are there any roles that you have done that you really love and want to do again and again and again?
Aida.
And what is it about her that speaks to you in that way?
I've said it before in other interviews. It just feels like I'm most myself. She is this wonderful being, this queen,
Hmm.
but she's had to portray herself as less than in order to survive. And I have kind of twisted that around to make it more personal to me. I've
Yes.
had to realize that I'm a queen. I've played myself down by not thinking I'm worth what I truly am worth. And in that, I get to realize that I am a queen. And I mean, I don't mean the sounds can sound
No,
conceited,
no, 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 no.
but
Know thyself.
I mean queen in that uh, I think that's when I'm my most beautiful. That's when I'm my most vulnerable. That's when I'm my most I'm saying but I'm at my most truthful. I really do. I love that opera. I could do it over and over. I really could. And I have been doing it over and over. Aida has been my bread and butter. And I had a teacher tell me that, and it is true. Aida always comes through. I got a lot of her in my future. Aida always gonna take care of Miss Bradley.
I know that's right. Come on, Aida.
Aida came through during lockdown. I was doing a little bit of work at Aida during lockdown. Hmm.
I know that is right. I love that. I love that. So now, piggybacking on that question, are there roles that you have not done that you say to yourself, "Oh, I can't wait to get my hands on her"?
Oh yes, there's Desdemona, Othello.
Aha.
I would love to play her. Norma. I would love
Ooh.
to do her. Excuse me. Um,
And so, what is it about those two that attracts you to them?
uh, First of all, the beauty of the music,
Hmm.
and I identify with their characters. I think if I were a wife or a woman involved, I would be that way. I know I would.
Mm.
I love the loyalty and the devotedness of Desdemona, even until her death.
Mm.
And I don't see that as a weakness. I don't see that as being a weak woman at all.
Yeah.
I think you are at your strongest when you are submissive. And
Mm.
as a woman, that's what we do. And we're not a weaker vessel in that. Well, how do I put it? It's not a weakness. That's our strength. That's how
Right.
you turn a man's mind. All you got to do is whisper in his ear,
Okay.
And I don't mean to get off the subject, but,
No, no, no.
that is one of our gifts in order to make you as a man better.
Yes.
We make you better in submitting to you. And I don't mean that as a weakness, and I don't mean that that's to give a man a warranty to, stomp all over us and treat us any kind of way. That's not it.
Yes.
We are the way we are because that's what builds you. That's what I see in those characters. And in Norma, I love how hard she loves. And my mother was a very strong, determined, tough woman, and she loved hard. And I see that in Norma. And yes, she contemplated killing her children, but she didn't follow through with it.
Yeah.
All of us have bad thoughts. How many thoughts we have that we don't follow through with? It's some rough stuff going on in this mind. But
Okay.
I love the vulnerability of them both, and I love the music is going to be very challenging, especially in Norma. I've sung it before, just in practice, and I've
Hmm.
worked on it with my teacher. And Anna Bolena, uh,
Ooh.
Lucrezia Borgia. That
Oh,
music
I
will be
love
fun.
that.
I learned so much with Lois, and I got to sing these roles with her, and I've done them all in her living room. I hope to do them in public.
Wow. That is amazing. Well, listen, universe, we need Michelle's Desdemona and her Norma and her Anna Boleyn. We need all of it. Make it
I mean,
happen.
I'm just stuff popping in my mind now. I Puritani. I mean,
Ooh.
I just want to, I just want to do everything I can, and maybe later on, I would love to do Wagner. I really do. I know people feel differently about his music. I love it. I love one of the things I love being in Lindemann. I got to see all these operas for free. I
Yes.
would hang around backstage with the stage hands. I would bug them. How y'all build this? How y'all get that out there so fast? They would, we became pretty cool. And being able to hear Wagner up close like that and
Ooh.
feel that orchestra, just that wall of sound coming at you, that's one of the best feelings in the world. I can't wait to be a Brunhilde, Sieglinde, whoever.
Come on now. I can feel
Isolde, I would
it.
love to do it. I would love to do it.
And I can
Turandot later on.
exactly. I can hear
I want to
Sieglinde
do it
like
all.
I can hear Sieglinde like next week, like for real. Like that is. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna put all that out there. We need it. We need it. We need it.
I want it. I want it. I want it. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Give it to me
Oh,
now. Give
I
it to me
love it.
now. Give it. Give it to. Okay, I'm sorry. We can start.
No, no,
I'm
it's
silly.
fine. Now I want to go to some quick fire fun questions
Oh my
that
gosh. Okay.
probably have nothing to do with singing, but
Okay.
You can answer with the first thing that comes to your mind, okay?
Oh gosh. Oh Lord. Okay.
What profession other than your own would you like to have attempted?
None. I never was anything but a singer, musician. Music was gonna be in my life regardless. I might
Yeah,
have had to work other jobs to support myself, but I
yeah.
was always singing at somebody's church or somebody's wedding. Um, mm, I really I can't say what I'd be because I really don't know. I have not visualized myself as anything but, and that's the honest truth.
I love it. Know thyself.
Sorry. That's
I love that. Now, on the other side, what profession other than your own would you never want to attempt?
I've already done it. I've already I've already cleaned toilets for a living and cleaned up after people. And not to say, it was humility and I did see myself doing a service. I don't want to go to no dirty bathroom. I
Hmm.
worked in a nursing home and I treated those people with respect because I don't want karma coming back and somebody treating somebody I care about disrespectfully.
Yes.
Um, I've already done the hard jobs. I mean, that I've never wanted to do. I think I've already done it. I think I've paid my dues
Yeah.
in that.
Amazing. Is there a favorite country or city that you have been to that you would love to go back, either to sing or just to vacation or spend time in?
Italy. I would live there. And I really want to visit the south of Italy, Naples, and
Hmm.
I would live in Italy. The food
Listen,
is
when I
wonderful. The way it's presented, the way the people dress.
yes, I just finished Stanley Tucci's series on CNN, Searching for Italy. Have you seen this?
Yes, yes. I
The
watched it
worst
with my
thing is
teacher.
watching it late at night during quarantine because I want to eat through the TV. But he makes me want to go
Oh,
back to Italy just to eat my way through the country.
yeah. Yeah, and I haven't been there in years. I never got to sing there. I've never sung there. It was I was there for a language program, and then I also just went on my own.
Yeah.
I for the first my first trip ever to Europe, I made that happen myself. I just took what money I had and I just went to experience it. I knew I needed to do that if I was going to Lindemann program. So after my first year, I took off to Europe and went to Italy and uh, Germany and France and just took it all in. But I would love to go
And
back to Italy.
and so for the young singers out there listening and contemplating this sort of experience and going to Europe, what did that take for you to make that trip worthwhile? What went into you going there? Where did you go? Why did you go there? And then what did you do while you were there?
I went to all of the famous places. I saw the Sistine Chapel. I went to the Vatican. I toured it. While I was in Germany, I went to the Deutsche Oper Berlin. And I thought about all the operas that I sing or that I would want to sing and thinking about where these characters come from. And yes, I ate. Just trying the food was wonderful, especially in Italy and in France. Just amazing. Sitting in the parks, listening to people just speak, listening to
Mm,
how they shape the language and taking that in, sometimes recording it, trying to go back and speak it myself, just
mhm.
simply taking it all in, and not being afraid to go. Don't be afraid to do things on your own. Don't be afraid to be by yourself because sometimes that's the only way you're going to get something done. And it's not to knock any of my friends or family or anything, but if you're waiting around on other people to do it with you, sometimes it's just not going to happen. They got lives too. You just got to be willing to do it on your own. And it ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's another word you done dropped on us, Pastor Bradley. There's another word you done dropped on us. That's fantastic. And I think the singers need to hear that and understand that you have to go for it. You have to do it and you have to put in the 10,000 hours to make it happen. You've got to cross the T's and dot the I's, and you have to absorb these different cultures and languages and styles and fashion and all of these things that make up the art that is what we do.
Yes. Yeah. But it's so worth it though, because there I one of the things I enjoy being in Europe, and never to down my country. I'm very proud to be an American. Even in the situation we are now, we really do have the potential to be the greatest country in the world. You know, when we come together, it's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
But being there, I experienced. I don't know. How do I say this right? I When I'm in America, I feel like a black woman. When I was in Europe, when I'm in Europe, I just feel like a woman. I,
Wow.
that was my experience. I don't have to worry about what somebody's going to say because of my skin tone or my cultural background. And there, I don't know. In Europe, I enjoy being exotic. I enjoy meeting people that want to touch my skin and be, what? Wow, look at that. I mean, seriously, I don't take offense to that. And the way they
Yeah.
approach me, I know it's not offensive. They are very curious. And
Yes.
I've come to like that. I just
That's
feel, you
that's
know,
amazing that you put it that way. That in America you feel like a black woman, but
mhm,
overseas you just feel like a woman.
yeah.
That's really rather profound because I would say that I have had similar situations, um, but even in some parts of the United States, because right now I think I've been to 43 or 44 states, and they all have this sort of different energy and flavor. But I remember being in the state of Maine and way north Maine, and there was a little girl we were in a secondhand store, and this little girl who was white saw me, and her mother was shopping and digging through, and she saw me and she ran over to me and she said, "Can I touch your skin?" Because I've only seen black people on TV.
Hmm.
And in the distance, I saw her mother like, no, but
Yeah.
it was like,
Yeah.
it's fine. You can touch my hand. It's fine. It's really fine.
Yeah.
And and then also in America, I definitely have felt, being a black man,
Yeah.
um, it's rather stark. It's rather stark in some places.
And here, the how do your race, your culture, your skin color, it's such a big deal when it doesn't need to be. Not that it's
Hmm.
unimportant, but that is not what you should base somebody off of. And when I'm in Europe, I don't get those questions.
Hmm.
You know, I don't, and I I don't know how to put it. It's just, maybe can I say I feel a little more welcomed in areas where I wouldn't be in America, and I don't.
It's and again, it's interesting that you say that because I had the privilege of interviewing Grace Bumbry a couple of weeks ago, and one of the questions that I asked her was that when she made her triumph at Bayreuth, she was then labeled as the Black Venus, and she
Mhm.
caused such a stir. And I asked her how she felt about that, and she said, "I loved it. I loved it because I knew that they were talking about me, and I knew that it was because I lit that stage on fire. So you can refer to me as that all you want to. I'm going to use it in a positive way."
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
wonderful to hear her say that. And George Shirley also said to me in the same way. They referred to him as the Black Rodolfo when he was in Italy and had such a success in La Boheme. And he said the same thing. He said, "I looked at it as a compliment because they could only be talking about me. And they're talking about me in a great way, in a wonderful way, in a positive way."
Yep.
So do you ever feel the pressure as a Black woman when you go to work, particularly here in America? Do you feel a sense of, I've got to be 200%, 500%, or can I just be Michelle that knows her music and knows what she's supposed to do and do it?
A little bit I do.
Hmm.
I do because we have a huge weight on our shoulders. We're it's not many of us in this field, and I do want to represent myself well, and I put a lot of pressure on myself naturally. I really do. I put a immense amount of pressure on myself when it comes to this. I'm very picky, perfectionist, and nothing
Hmm.
is ever right. Even when I do a good job or a great job, I'm still gonna find something wrong with it. But yeah, a lot of the pressure though comes from me. A lot of it comes from me, and
Yeah.
I do have that in mind. Yes, I'm the Black woman. In the Lindemann program, I was the only Black woman, and the first one that they'd had in a lot of years. That was in the back of my mind
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
I'm ushering in, or not ushering in, but you know, hopefully leading by example. For whoever comes after me, that you got to come in here and bring it. You know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
got to come in here and bring it. You dropping more pearls of wisdom for the folks. You got to come in here
Now, I will
and
say I didn't feel any racial things being in the Lindemann program or at the Met. I never felt that. I
Mhm.
think a lot of it for me was preparing myself for when or if ever I do feel that in the opera world. What I meant when I said I feel that I am a Black woman in America is really on outside the stage.
Outside.
I've
Mhm.
been
Mhm.
called the names, and I've had a lot of people not even think I was Black. They thought I was Hispanic or Asian, so I got called those racial slurs too. I've been called all different types of things.
Mercy.
So yeah, that's what I mean. When I go to Europe, I don't get that. But no, I've never experienced it. And I pray that I don't. But I do prepare myself, you know, for if
Yeah.
and when I have to deal with something like that. Just make sure I'm prepared and work my butt off and put it into the music.
Yes.
Colleague in spite of. And my parents taught me well with that. Don't have to argue with a fool. Don't have to make a
Okay.
fool of myself. And
I
anybody
love
that
it.
comes at me wrong, it's showing that they have an issue, not me.
That's it. That's it. Your problem with me is your problem. That is
Hmm.
your problem. So, what does Michelle do in her time off and pre-pandemic? Like, what do you do to relax or have fun? What are some of your hobbies when it's like, okay, that performance is over, it went well, the check is cleared, I don't have anything to do for a little bit. What does Michelle do?
I I stay to myself. I am a homebody. I
Yeah.
really am. I like to be home. I do enjoy traveling. I like road trips. But most times I really just like to hang at home and watch my little favorite shows or chill
What you
out.
watching? What
Hey,
you watching?
well, honestly, I don't really get to watch a lot of TV. But because I've had some free time, I got stuck on this show called Barry.
What is
It's
that?
on HBO. I love funny stuff. I love silliness and goofiness, and I uh I like Bill Hader. He was on Saturday Night Live. That's
Uh-huh.
my
Uh-huh.
friend Anthony. And it's really funny. It's about a hitman, but he doesn't want to do it anymore. He's tired of killing people, and he stumbles in on this acting class, and he tries to stop being a hitman, and he wants to be an actor, and he tries to live a normal life, but he
Yes.
keeps getting pulled back into being a hitman. So he's out killing people, and then he tries to make his 11 o'clock acting class, and nobody knows that he's doing this. I mean, it's just really hilarious, and so I've been binge watching that when I'm not working. But that's
Right.
try to exercise, do a lot of walking.
Hmm.
I like to read. I like to, yeah, I'm pretty boring.
No, that's great. And I like the same stuff. Sometimes it was very easy to be in quarantine because I like my own company.
Mm-hmm.
So I've enjoyed it and made the
Mm-hmm.
most out of it. But I
Yeah.
don't know what I would have done without Netflix. I really don't.
Yeah.
So
I
now,
low key.
yeah, keep it low key, keep it cute and low key. So, what kind of a girl are you? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, or dessert?
Ooh, it's a close call between breakfast and dinner. I
Okay.
love my scrambled eggs in the morning. That's my thing. Breakfast is my meal because I like, and I've been cooking more. I cook, especially since we've been in lockdown and quarantine. I don't really go sit in the restaurants anymore. Now that, especially in Texas, everything's all open, but I still don't go. Um, I like having my breakfast. I like planning my day and the work I'm gonna do, sitting
Hmm.
and thinking. You know, growing up, I mean to get off subject. My father, growing up, he was a kind of a quiet man, and he would get up in the morning. He'd never have the TV on. He'd get up early. He'd always get up while it was still dark, even if he came in late. And he'd just sit in the kitchen, and we had a patio that looked out over the backyard. And he'd be sitting there watching the sunrise and just thinking. And I found myself doing that too. I don't have anything on in my house. I might listen to music, but no TV.
Yeah.
And I tend to do that too. Just get up, and I like to look at nature and all that stuff. I'm boring. And yes, I do like steak every now and then. So that's why it's a close call with dinner. I do like my little filet mignon and a
Come on
nice
now.
glass of wine. Yes, and I am bougie. I am. I'm paying for it so I can be bougie.
Okay, I know that's right. And brother Kevin Short, you are so right about everything you said. Besides a gorgeous voice, Michelle has personal characteristics and intangibles to have a very long and hugely successful career for the history books. Extremely important. You are so right. You are so right. I agree, brother. I truly agree. And thanks for always tuning in and supporting. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.
That's my nephew.
Oh yeah, TJ. Hey
Yeah.
TJ. What's going on, nephew? I'm waiting for
Laughing.
fantastic. Well, Michelle, we have been on for over an hour and a half. My goodness, I could talk to you
Yeah,
all day, all night. But
it's been fun.
it has been so much fun getting to know you and talk to you. And hopefully, if we're ever in the same city at the same time, we can go grab a steak. That would be fun. But I'm so looking forward to your recital in Houston on Friday. I'll be quarantining in New Orleans, so we'll be on the same time zone, so I'll be able to catch you. Um, but I'm looking forward to that. Make sure you send me the link, and I'll share it with everybody as well. But I wanted to thank you, thank you, thank you. And before we go, I have another receipt in my bag that Michelle sent, and it is really, really special because she sang, and I don't know how she sang at the funeral of her teacher, the great
Oh,
Andrew Smith. I don't know how she did this, but she did. And I just think that we all need to hear the words of this song and through this vessel. And so it is, I don't believe in coincidence. I don't believe in happenstance. I believe that you and I were supposed to speak tonight, and we were supposed to be in this place, and we were supposed to hear you sing this song. And I'm so grateful that you sent it. And don't sign off when we sign off, Michelle. I want to say thank you in private when we get off the air. But I want to share this with everybody out there. And yes.
may I quickly publicly thank you because this has really meant a lot to me and everybody that is tuned in with your comments. I feel like it's my birthday or something. It's just so encouraging. This really blessed me. I hope it doesn't come off conceited. I didn't know that I had accomplished so much. I've really accomplished a lot, and I'm very grateful. And it's because you all have supported me like you have. You love me like you do, and I'm very grateful. It is really it's a nice boost. Thank you so much. Love all of you. Thank you, Kenny, for this opportunity and just how you. I mean, talk about boosting somebody up. You were great. I mean, you introduce me anytime. When we go out to eat, I want you to announce me before we go into the restaurant.
Okay. Listen,
It's going to be grand.
it's going to be grand. Listen up, restaurant.
So much for your support of me. I can't thank you enough. Thank you.
Absolutely. Just know that we're out there and we are supporting you and pushing you and loving you and wanting to see you be the absolute best. And so continue to soar, my dear. Continue to soar.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. Love you.
When sorrows like sea billows run, whatever my lot, thou hast taught
Oh, Lord have mercy. I said I wasn't going to cry on my show, but I needed that more than I thought I did. And I am so grateful that you came and blessed us tonight and that you blessed me tonight, because they always say that people who give and give and give forget to receive. And tonight I thought that I was giving my audience someone special. I never thought that I was receiving someone who was so special. And that is you, my dear sister. I love you from afar, and I cannot wait till we can be together in fellowship again. Uh, Everybody, I hope that you have been touched and moved and blessed by Michelle's presence, her dignity, her grace, her beauty, her kindness, her openness, and the wealth and beauty of her gift. Don't take it for granted. Support her, pray for her as she goes on and through this amazing, incredible, and sometimes trying career in life. We all need the support. We all need the love. And I ask that you keep her in your thoughts and in your prayers. And I look forward to being with you again next week when my guest will be the bass baritone Devon Tynes, who is doing some incredible things in this world as an artist as well. But Michelle, thank you, my love. Is there anything you want to say or leave with the folks before we go?
Just again, thank you, Kenny, and thank you, everyone, for how you've supported me. If I didn't call your name, please don't think it's because I forgot about you. It's just so much. But the young man playing for me in the video, Mario Radford, a childhood friend, friend of the family. Um, uh, Marcus McCurry, he's helped me a lot with my website and videos and creating. He's been a support. Lori Hicks. I mean, I'm trying to remember everybody. Myra Merritt, Wilhelmina Fernandez Smith, Mr. Smith's wife, Mr. Smith, Diana Sobiero, Lois Alba, Robin Angley, a huge supporter of me and has underwritten a lot of my performances. The one that you played tonight, Aida, that was done at San Diego Opera, Robin made that possible for me. I just have a lot of help, and I'm very grateful. I have a wonderful circle of people. My agent, Michael Benchetrit, friend and pianist, Valeria Polonina. I'm just trying to get everybody. And if I didn't name you, please, I didn't forget about you. We just, time constraints. But I'm very grateful to a lot of people. And again, I'm grateful to be here tonight. And this is really just everybody pouring into me like that. You didn't have to do it, but you did. And thank you.
Thank you so much, Michelle. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Remember, again, next Monday, same time, same place. So God bless you. Take care of yourselves and each other. Good night, everybody.
Good night.